Hi. So I want to talk to you about the sort of definition, what I gather as a DC supporter. Because every day I come across fans or whatnot just sharing their passion, but then by sharing the passion they also put it down. So here, the recent news was that Justice League has finished its run in cinema. Now this might be old news and stuff, so it basically didn't make as much money as the previous DC films. But then again, it's a best-selling DVD on the market just now. So where there's a lot of people now buying the film and not bothering going to see it in the cinema, is anybody's guess. Or it could be the lead up to haters or boycotters that somehow didn't agree with the way DC was going. Either they were against Zack Snyder or they were for Zack Snyder, or you get the other people that just want to see their heroes on the big screen. So I went to Ayr and I went into this game shop, and there were two guys there, twice the size of me, and I was just in there to buy some cheap games, you know, those games for PlayStation 2, 3 and Xbox. First one, because that to me has got the greatest Star Wars game ever, which was Knights of the Republic. So I heard this guy talking about Star Wars, and of course, if you've been following my YouTube channel, you know I've got a somehow beef on the way the Star Wars universe is going at the moment, and I'm sort of done with it. So, and then that somehow transpired over to the talk about DC stuff. And he basically says that he doesn't really bother about DC, he's not a big fan of the films and these. So of course that got me into my big debate, and you've got to remember this guy was twice the size of me, and I'm standing there lecturing him about what my spin on Marvel films are, and the direction of Man of Steel and why that is so-called important, because for me it showed the Superman I read about. And then I went on to talk about, the Martha scene and what it actually meant and all the meanings in BVS. So then we got talking about Marvel and how jokingly it is and how much of a sitcom it is, and that's why it's making money. And he went, well, and now he hasn't seen Justice League. And he said to me, isn't Justice League trying to be like Marvel? And then that's when I went on to talk about the goings on behind the scenes. Now, of course, the area where I visited, that had very little cinema complexes over there in this area of Scotland. So the choice was minimum of what film he was going to see. But the fact that he said to me that, he didn't really care too much for the DC, for the movies. So of course that got me into a rant. I was ranting about an hour, and of course he tried to maybe smoothly get away from me by crouching down on his knees and looking at games. He was a wee bit sheepish. And again, I was explaining the cutscene of the Snyder Vision and what's happening and what the DC is trying to achieve. So finally I sort of let him off the hook and left. But this is the sort of supporting role that I have for the DC, and if somebody says to me that they didn't get it, it boils this thing inside me that makes me debate and defend the DC EU. Now, as I say, the film itself maybe never made a lot of money in the box office, but it turned heads. The Justice League film turned heads. Best-selling DVD. So again, and then we've got people that were trying to boycott the movie. And I've said this many times, if you're a fan of DC, don't start posting stuff about boycotting or not going to see the film. By not paying money to see the DCU, you could jeopardise, like they do in Pirates, the future production of DC movies. Try as they might, they're trying to please the majority, as I've often said in my YouTube videos. But it just pains me that that there are a lot of people out there now that maybe they're just, because of maybe Zack Snyder's vision, that they've stopped watching DC movies, and maybe with the Justice League trying to be like the other film, and the other, like Marvel, and that's the sort of idea they get. Now, this guy came across as he doesn't read too much comics, but this is what he's getting in his head, that Justice League was supposed to be a wee bit like the Marvel film, so he didn't go and see it. But no, lo and behold, I believe at some point on DVD he will see the film, and this is what we're trying to convince people to do. We're trying to convince people to go to the cinema and see these films, spend money on it. So the last thing we really need is for our own fans to say it's rubbish or to put it down or reboot. Stand up and defend the stuff. As you know, for me, I've defended it since Man of Steel on the Facebook page, and you can't dispute that I am not a DC fan. So, and as I say, I will support everything no matter what they do. There is reports now, of course, the ATM takeover or whatever company, but of course they won't sell Warner Brothers DC anyway, because it's one of the main money making things that Warner Brothers has got, and it should carry on, but it needs, of course, your support to back that statement up. But again, something may cause that to stop. But again, we're hearing about all these new films in production, so again, there is evidence to state that no matter what happens in this merger between Disney and Fox, Warner Brothers and AAT, or whatever the company is called, it won't jeopardise much of the film, the DC future. So what was the moral of this story? I just want you to think, are you a DC supporter? Are you a DC fan? I know I've made a video like this before, but as I stood in that game shop and tried to convince this person to give DC a watch, that is what I urge you guys to do. There is too much divide between a Snyder fan or a DC fan. Just go out and buy your DVD, buy it and enjoy it, and don't put it down. I must admit, there has been times where I now stopped telling people to go and see a DC film because of the constant backlash I am getting online. But again, not everybody is online and reads this jargon, so whatever I'm saying to you just now on YouTube or on Facebook, that is not the populace, that is not the world. And again, when you go to, so please, let's die down the negativity and support the DCU. And again, we believe this Aquaman film will give us a good look on the direction they're going. And I believe now that DC will stop competing to try to be the new Marvel. The Marvel has totally brainwashed the populace into their way of thinking. They've spent time, and again, Warner Brothers has came out and said they can't do it. So whatever road they travel, whatever Warner Brothers decides to do, where Elseworld or other videos like that, we've just got to settle that we can't have a big, huge timeline in movies. That it may change from time to time, but at least we're getting these heroes. At least we're getting new gods. We're having a Shazam movie. We're having another Green Lantern movie. So they haven't given up. So let's not give up on them and support them. So you got to ask yourself, are you a DC supporter? Thank you.